Red Bull expects difficulties at the Canadian Grand Prix. Toto Wolff warns of failures at future Grand Prix and points to an unsolved W15 problem. Pirelli responded to Lewis Hamilton's criticism of modern tyres and refuted his claims. This is Formula One news, and we are starting. Red Bull is preparing for a difficult test in Canada amid problems with passing curbs and unevenness of the track. The bumpy Monaco track revealed some of the key flaws of the RB20, which proved to be unstable over curbs and bumps. This is associated with the features of the suspension, which works perfectly on high-speed turns, but cannot provide smooth passage of bumps and stabilize the position of the car relative to the track at low speed. This behavior of the car has led to speculations that Red Bull may suffer due to these characteristics on the track in Montreal, where there are also a series of turns that force the pilots to attack the curbs. Although the surface of the track has been renewed, Max Verstappen believes that any unevenness on the track can lead to a loss of performance of the car. And given that the roads on the island where the Grand Prix is held are public for civilian cars, the possibility of problems with the surface is high. We have to wait and see. New surface as well, I think, that might also give us some surprises. But it is probably also not going to be our strongest weekend because of that. But probably a little bit better than Monaco. We'll be weaker at any track that is bumpy or has curbs, or you have to ride a lot of curbs, so the street circuits will probably be a little bit tricky. But hopefully by then, we have a little bit of understanding of what is going on. Toto Wolff warns of failures at the upcoming Grand Prix, but is confident that the team is moving in the right direction. Although Mercedes have already fixed some of their problems, and the updates they implement every Grand Prix work as expected, they still see problems in the form of a small operating window. The team's chief race engineer, Andrew Shovlin, described it as an undersized blanket that can only cover part of the body. Their car feels good in slow turns, or in fast ones, but not both at the same time. Such a feature can negatively affect the car's performance in Canada, as the track in Montreal has a variety of slow and fast corners. In this regard, Toto Wolff spoke, who acknowledged the problems, but believes that they will soon get rid of them. I think what we're doing now is probably solving that. I don't think that the duvet is large enough to cover feet and head at that stage, but we're getting there. And Montreal is a little bit of an outlier for track. We're going to add something, and we're going to add something for Barcelona. So just try to chip away, bearing in mind there could be also setbacks. Pirelli responded to Hamilton's criticism and denied his claims. After the Miami Grand Prix, Lewis was not satisfied with the performance of the rubber and stated that tires for Formula One have never had such a small operating window as now. Honestly, it's probably the most frustrating thing. You look back in the day when you had a much bigger working window to work with. Then you can just optimize the balance, and then just have good grip throughout the whole lap. This is definitely my least favorite, said the Briton. Work with rubber really becomes an important issue, which in particular was at the epicenter of the fight between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Thanks to the better work with the rubber in the second half of the race, Lando managed to catch up with Max, who fell out of the working window of his tire. But Pirelli believes that the performance peaks of their tires are important, not because they have changed compared to previous years, but because the peloton is getting very tight and every detail matters more. Last year, when the difference in the pace of the cars was greater, a small deviation from the operating range of the rubber was not critical to performance, but when the two cars have almost identical pace, then the work of the rubber comes to the fore. Pirelli explained recently how it defines the working range of the tire to be the temperature area that is within 3% of the peak grip possible. Such a range indeed looks very small, although it has not changed compared to previous years. Therefore, according to Pirelli, they are trying to expand it, which will allow easier access to the maximum level of rubber grafting and will give teams more freedom in the settings of the car. That's all for today. Did you enjoy the video? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's follow the latest news from Formula One together.